Hello, I've got a great buckle card for you today and a new style of felt flower that I love to show you. These are using the new Italian collection from my new die designs, and we're going to be using the original California collection too. Let me show you. I've got the decorative frames from the Italian collection we're going to be using for the center. I've got the Calabria from the Italian collection. We're going to be mixing that with the Umbria set because they do mix and match beautifully. And then for the sentiment, we're going to be using the decorative frames from the California collection. A couple other products that we have. The tied together embossing folder is going to do our background for us. And I'm going to be using the leaves from the Bitty Blossom collection from Spellbinders. Let's get started with our background first. So I've got a piece of coconut white card here that's bigger than the size on my embossing folder. So we're going to do half of that, and then I'll show you how to line it back up and do the other half. So I'm just going to put half of it into my card like this and get the plates that I need. I'm going to be using the base plate and the tan mat. I'm going to put that over the top. And this is the thin Creative Expressions adapter plate, the white one. We're going to pop this through the grand caliper. That gives the first half. You can see the emboss on this. So you see half of that has been done really nicely. So because it's a geometric pattern and it lines up nicely, what we're going to do is slot it back into place, and it just takes a second to wiggle it around and you find the right spot, or you can actually look through the back and line it up. There we go. And you want to make sure you get it in there really good so you don't get a double emboss going through that. Now, we don't want a line showing on that, so what we're going to do is hang that edge off the end of our base plate. We're going to put the tan mat over that and then the white plate. So you can see it's still sticking out, so you have to just carefully feed it back through the grand caliper and emboss the remaining section. Have a perfectly seamless embossed background that way. You can also do it with other embossing folders that don't have a geometric pattern, and if it's busy enough it won't leave an area that you can see, but with the geometric it's absolutely perfect to do this. So let's set these aside, and I'm going to go ahead and put that onto my background. Now, I've already prepared a base coat here with a pierced edge. I've got some purple card, and I'm just going to put some double-sided tape on here, and we will get our background sorted out. Just going to have that peeking out the edge a bit. Okay, set that to the side now. Now I'm going to do what I call a buckle card. And a buckle card is basically you can take your dies and cut them into frames. Now I've used these from the decorative frames in the Italian collection. I've already cut them out, and I did use a Spellbinder circle to cut the center of them out so I'd have a frame there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lay them down like this, and I've got a strip that I've matted with a piece of the matching purple card. I've cut little forks into the ends, and what we're going to do is just weave this up and over like that. And then I'm going to go over that section again, so I'm literally trapping those two center pieces in the middle underneath and then back over. Okay, so you have what looks like a buckle. Now I'm just going to get that centered the way I want it, and I'm going to flip it over back and just try and get it as close as possible. When you're doing this at home, you can take more time. I'm going to use a piece of mounting foam across the back and just secure it into place. Like that. You can do a little bit of gluing to hold it in place too if you like, but just for the point of the video, I'm going to leave it with the mounting foam. Now, what I've also done, and I went ahead and did this ahead of time because there was a lot of poking out, but I've used the outer edge from the Calabria with the inner die of the Umbria. Now this one doesn't have an actual cutting edge on it, so it's just decorative, and it will cut that pattern out of your paper, which is lovely. And you can put it together here, and what you end up with is this. And it's just gorgeous. And because there's a little bit of a gap there, when you go to emboss it, you have a beautiful embossed rim that goes around there. So I'm going to use that for the base of my card. And I put a piece of mounting foam on that. And I'm going to just seat this right in the center. And you can turn it so it's a little more flat, whatever you like. I actually like it so the taller tips are straight up and down on this card. And then what we're going to do is take our buckle piece and seat that on top of it carefully, and it just goes right into the center there. Okay, and I've got a sentiment that I've gone ahead and stamped from the Creative Expression set. They have a lot of sentiments to choose from that are absolutely brilliant, so it's just your choice what you use. For this one, I've used a thanks so much, and I'm going to use the decorative frames from the California collection. Oops, excuse me, wrong tape. And we're going to center that over that. Pop that into place and grab our cutting plate and our base plate there and run that through and give it a quick cut. You always want to stamp your sentiment and then line your die up to go over it. It's much easier that way. You don't have to worry about it being out of kilter a bit. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just give this a real quick emboss because it brings out the beauty in that. So let me switch this out and grab what I need here. I've got the tan mat and the pink plate. And we'll run that through. In fact, I'll just see if I can pop it back this way. There we go. Keep that like that. Let me take that off of the tape, and I'm going to do a tiny bit of inking. And I've got Dusty Concord Distress ink here, so I'm going to do just a little bit of light inking around the edge here. Bring out the beauty in that. The Distress inks are absolutely perfect for this. The color range is beautiful. It matches just about every cardstock there is. And it just adds a little bit extra to the center of your card, draws the eye in. So you can see how nice that looks. Pretty. And I'm going to put just a little piece of mounting foam on the back there. Let me find my scissors there. Pop that on there. We'll put this in the center of the card, and then I'll show you this fun flower. Okay, so I've got the base of the card completely finished right there so far. I'm going to set this to the side for the moment. Okay, now what I've done is I've cut a little strip from the, I'll call this aubergine or eggplant colored felt out of our vintage felt pack. And I've just folded over the top of it and glued that with some Cosmic Shimmer glue. Okay, so it's all ready to go. So that's how we're going to start this flower. It gives it a really different look that way. So using some of the red line tape, I'm just going to pop a bit onto the bottom. Around, catching the edge of that just ever so slightly. Okay. And let's get this started. I'm going to peel back the liner. Try this side. It's always the hardest part of this. There we go, getting a hold of that liner. Okay, so what we want to do is just start to roll this and get our center going. A little bit of a roll, moving it along. Okay, so once we have that, I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to pleat it as I go. And because you've got that little extra bit of felt around there from where you folded it over, you get a really, really pretty edge going on the flower and gives it a completely different look than if you just used the felt straight without the fold on it. Felt makes such beautiful flowers. There are so many different styles that I hope to bring to you through our video series here of what you can do, because it's a beautiful medium to add to your cards, I think. And you can see how that's already coming together. Just a little bit of a pleat. If you're not happy with it, you can pull it back away. Put that on there. See how pretty that is? Let's get that and just give it a real good tuck down at the bottom, catching the tape onto itself. There we go. How pretty is that? we go. Love the way that comes out. And then you can just take your scissors and nip away the extra tape you need. So let's go ahead and seat this onto our card. I've also tied a little piece of white tulle. This is a new product that we're carrying. I'm really, really excited about because I think it adds so much to your little floral arrangements on your cards. So I'm going to pop that down first right here. And I just put it on with a little glue dot. And then I'm going to add a little double bow I've tied from the Pastel Baker's Twine. This is the purple and white. It's a beautiful match too. I'm going to pop that into place. Seat that down right next to it. And I'm going to use a couple more glue dots on my flower. You can use glue, whatever your preference is. And I'm going to pop that right on top of that. And just tuck out those little bows so they can be seen. And another new product, I'm really excited about these really tiny 2mm pearls. Now I just cut a little piece of them, and I don't even do anything but just get the tip of it with a glue dot, and I'm going to tuck it underneath my flower so it just hangs, because it really looks pretty. In fact, we'll do a couple of those. Your preference, you can do one or two, and just let it hang down so it adds a little bit extra to your floral element there. And you can trim the length on them once they're into place. And then, oh, let's do a couple leaves. Now I've cut these already. I've inked through them with a little bit of Dusty Concord, and this is from the Bitty Blossoms. So I'm just going to cut those in half, and I'm going to give them just a little bit of a forming by folding a tiny bit, gives them some shape. And I'll use a glue dot and tuck them in underneath here. I find it's easier to put them in once I've seated my flower on there. You might find they're easier to put the flower on once the leaves are on. There again, it's a personal preference. So set those right about like that. There we go. You can kind of do a little playing with it, get it exactly how you want it. Now, the other thing I've done is I've gone ahead and cut some flowers from another collection that we have. It's called the Rose Collection. Now, I don't have a board for that one yet, and this is probably the most simple of the form that you'll see them in, because there are so many different things you can do with these. And I've taken the tiniest ones and I've just stacked them up and put a pearl on them. These, I have to say, these flowers are going to be some of my favorites because there are many, many different things you can do with these, and I'll be showing you throughout these videos. I'll tell you what, I think I'll just put these on with a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer Glue, and we are just going to scatter them so that they look like they're cascading down the card, because I think that's so pretty myself. I'll put a couple purple ones here and a couple white ones, and let's get the top of this maybe right about like that. And let's put one more down here. Oh, got an extra. We'll put him on too. How about right about there? There we go. Now, the only thing left to do is a couple of pearl swirls. And these I've cut into little pieces from bigger pieces, so you can use them that way if you like. And I'm just going to pop one up at the top here, coming down. And this one, just carefully peel them off their backing and release them from the acetate they come on. And we'll put this one in place down here. How easy a card is that? Get that into place. There you go. And you've got a finished, beautiful card for any occasion. You could put any sentiment you liked on that and it would look wonderful. I hope you've enjoyed the video today.